Today I'm going to show you an action-adventure film from 2014, titled Hercules.
My children!
You have our permission to join them in death.
Father, please. No!
Be ready for spoilers ahead. In 358 BC, along the Macedonian coast in northern Greece, a storyteller named Iolaus from Athens finds himself in the clutches of pirates. To stall for time, he spins the tale of his legendary uncle, Hercules, who was born to a woman named Alcmene. Hercules faced Hera's wrath, the queen of his father, who deemed him an affront. Hera sought his demise, yet Hercules inherited immense strength akin to his father's. Upon reaching adulthood, his father tasked Hercules with 12 labors. Completion of these labors would grant him peace from Hera's persecution. Hercules confronted Hydra, the Erymanthian boar, and the Nemean lion, whose impenetrable hide required Hercules to rely on sheer might, conquering it barehanded. However, the pirates remained unconvinced by Iolaus's tales, dismissing them entirely. But as fate would have it, Hercules himself arrives, adorned with the lion's impenetrable hide. Unfazed, the pirates, numbering 40 strong, face off against Hercules, believing their sheer numbers to be an advantage, but little do they realize, Hercules can engage multiple adversaries simultaneously, and he's not alone. His allies stand by his side, ready for the impending clash. The band of mercenaries comprises the seer Amphiaraus from Argos, the cunning thief Autolycus from Sparta, the fierce warrior Tydeus hailing from Thebes, and the skilled Amazon archer Atalanta from Scythia. This formidable crew effortlessly overpowers the pirates, liberating Iolaus from captivity. Later, the victorious company heads to a tavern to revel in their triumph. Hercules confides in Autolycus, expressing his desire to depart for distant lands in pursuit of tranquility, taking Tydeus along due to his ability to manage his intense fury. Abruptly, the tavern falls into a hush as soldiers escort Princess Virginia of Thrace inside, inviting Hercules and his crew to the palace to hear her father's proposition, offering a substantial sum in gold. Upon reaching the palace, Hercules notices a throng of refugees within the walls. General Siticles, commander of the Thracian army, greets them. Ascending the palace steps, Hercules reminisces about an episode from 3 years prior when he dispatched a group masquerading as a hydra, a mere bunch of men donning lizard-like helmets for King Eurystheus of Athens. The king hailed him a hero before a roaring crowd chanting his name. However, the recollection darkens as it segues into haunting images of his slain wife and children, prompting Hercules to push aside the distressing memories and focus on the present. The group is received by Lord Hercules, the reigning monarch of Thrace, who taunts Amphiaraus and belittles Atalanta's abilities based on her gender, only to be swiftly proven wrong as Atalanta skillfully disarms the guards by shooting the helmets off their hands. Lord Hercules extends an invitation for dinner, revealing the nation's plight, a raging civil war with a merciless warlord named Ruthless who's rumored to command an army of centaurs. Highlighting his dwindling army, primarily comprised of farmers, Hercules and his daughter appeal to Hercules, emphasizing the dire need for peace in the country, eventually persuading him to accept the daunting task. The ensuing morning, Hercules and his team commence the arduous task of training the newly enlisted farmer soldiers. Their initial attempt at forming a shield wall proves ineffective, displaying vulnerabilities that need addressing. In a subsequent meeting, Hercules reveals intelligence gathered by his scout, indicating Rhesus' imminent assault on the tribe in Central within 6 days. Hercules urges an immediate march to intercept Rhesus before he advances further. However, Hercules expresses reservations and stresses the necessity for an additional training period, but Hercules remains adamant, insisting on marching the following day. The next day, as the army prepares to march, Hercules finds Iolaus among the soldiers, determined to join the fight. Hercules gently reminds him of his role as a storyteller rather than a warrior. They set out for the battle. Upon reaching the village, a grim realization dawns. Their arrival is too late since Rhesus had already ravaged the settlement, leaving destruction in his wake. A peculiar sight greets them amidst the carnage. Some bodies display signs of decay, while others remain oddly pristine. Suddenly, these seemingly lifeless figures spring to life and launch an unexpected assault. It becomes evident that it was a carefully laid trap all along. Hercules swiftly commands a shield wall in formation. The tribal leader challenges Hercules to a direct confrontation. With finesse, Hercules snaps the tip of one of Atalanta's arrows. As the tribal leader approaches, Hercules seemingly strikes him with a mere punch, using the arrow fragment to create the appearance of a fatal blow. The ensuing battle erupts, with Hercules' team striving to eliminate as many tribal warriors as possible. However, the sheer numbers of the enemy overwhelm them, breaching the shield wall. To counter this, Hercules commands Amphiaraus to retrieve their chariots, maneuvering them in circles around the shield wall, crushing and clearing a path amidst the enemy ranks. Seizing this opportunity, the remaining soldiers charge forward. Recognizing imminent defeat, the enemy flees, leaving no sign of Rhesus, though an enigmatic figure lurks in the distance. Acknowledging the substantial loss of half his army, Hercules attributes the failure to Hercules, highlighting his earlier warnings about the inadequately prepared farmers. Shortly after, Princess Urgenia arrives with healers, escorting her to Hercules' private tent to tend to his concealed injuries. In a moment of respite, Princess Urgenia leaves Hercules to rest in his tent. As he drifts into slumber, he is haunted by a haunting recollection, a vivid memory of his wife and children's lifeless forms, his hands stained with blood. Hercules awakens from this tormenting nightmare to an unusual sound. Investigating the source in the forest, he visualizes his deceased family amidst the tribal corpses, devoured by a three-headed wolf. As Hercules prepares to confront the beast, the sudden appearance of Tydeus jolts him back to reality and grounds him from his illusions. Come morning, Amphiaraus discerns Hercules' turmoil, recognizing it as a recurring struggle. He advises Hercules to confront this final challenge by facing the beast to seek inner peace. However, Hercules dismisses this advice as a step toward madness. Later, Hercules and his team rigorously train Cody's army, equipping them with replicas of Hercules' armor and weapons and teaching various combat techniques. Eventually they succeed in forming an impenetrable shield wall, as Aeolus clandestinely observes and trains in seclusion. When Phineus returns with fresh intelligence revealing Rhesus is near the mountain with a supposed army of monsters, Hercules decides to confront him there to prevent further encroachment. The army primed for battle arrives at mountain, only to find no visible enemy encampment. Surprisingly, Rhesus' army materializes on the horizon. As they draw nearer, it becomes evident that they are a group of horse-mounted men creating an optical illusion by positioning themselves against the sun. Rhesus arrives alongside Phineus, who has been covertly working for the enemy. Cody's army readies their shield wall and releases their flanks. Unexpectedly, Atalanta and her archers emerge from the forest on chariots, launching a surprise ambush with flaming arrows, disrupting the enemy's advance. As fiery arrows rain down, the combat intensifies, with Rhesus' numerically superior army facing off against Hercules' better organized soldiers. As Hercules' forces gain momentum, Rhesus' soldiers begin to flee. Rhesus, however, chooses to confront Hercules directly, a decision that swiftly leads to his defeat as Hercules subdues him effortlessly. Returning triumphant with Rhesus in captivity, Cody first subjects Rhesus to public humiliation. However, Hercules, moved by compassion, assists Rhesus. Rhesus confides in Hercules, revealing that it was Codes who orchestrated the conflict by poisoning Urgenia's husband, the true king. During the celebratory banquet, Rhesus, displayed as a captive, receives mistreatment from Codes, who forbids Princess Urgenia from offering him water. During Codes' coronation, uniting the fractured Thrace under his rule, Urgenia reveals to Hercules the truth behind Codes' malevolence. She explains that Cody manipulated her into cooperating by threatening harm to her child if she resisted. Soon, Codes' general interrupts them, informing Hercules of Codes' search for him. Confronting Codes, Hercules accuses him of betrayal, but Codes dismisses it, ridiculing the mercenaries' newfound conscience after they had always been motivated by gold. Cody, revealing his aspirations for his own empire, offers Hercules leadership of his army. However, Hercules declines the offer, receiving the agreed-upon payment before being dismissed. Arriving at their chariots, Hercules passes his payment to Autolycus, expressing his determination to remain and save Thrace. Despite Hercules' assumption that the team would depart, they unanimously choose to stand by his side except for Autolycus, who departs with the gold, dismissing their decision as madness. As they sneak back into the palace, Codes' general and his soldiers intercept them, disarming and apprehending them. Meanwhile, the general accuses Urgenia of conspiring with Hercules to overthrow Codes, leading to Urgenia's capture. Codes seizes Urgenia's son from her, who in a desperate attempt tries to reach out to Hercules for help. While attempting to rescue the boy, Hercules is subdued and awakens later, chained to a wall, and encounters the three wolves. As his vision clears, he realizes the wolves belong to King Eurystheus, who arrives with Codes, unveiling their collaboration to rule Greece together. Hercules gradually recollects his fragmented memory. Cerberus had been an illusion of his mind, and it was these wolves that attacked his family 3 years ago after Eurystheus drugged Hercules. Eurystheus admits his role, driven by insecurity over people's reverence for Hercules over himself, viewing Hercules as a threat to his authority that needed eliminating. In a pivotal moment, Codes, recognizing the peril Hercules poses as someone devoid of ambition, orders Urgenia's execution. Hercules, feeling powerless, receives a much-needed boost when Amphiaraus urges him to believe in himself. This stirring reminder reignites Hercules' resolve, and with sheer determination, he breaks free from his chains, rushing to rescue Urgenia. As Hercules confronts Cody and the others, they retreat, leaving him to face the wolves under their command, while Urgenia seizes the executioner's axe, utilizing it to unlock the cages. Sustaining injuries from the fierce struggle with the wolves, Hercules showcases his unwavering strength, gradually overpowering each one until he defeats the last with the lion's tooth, culminating in the completion of his final labor. Urgenia liberates the imprisoned party, seizing the opportunity to arm themselves with discarded weapons left behind by the soldiers. Hercules demonstrates his immense strength once more by lifting a metal door, facilitating their escape from the dungeon. As they ascend, They encounter soldiers attempting to impede their progress. The group bravely fights their way through, thwarting their assailants. In a decisive turn, as the rest of the party handles the remaining soldiers, Hercules confronts Eurystheus. Eurystheus offers excuses, claiming he was manipulated by Hercules, attempting to assert his authority as a king, and even offering Hercules wealth. Unmoved by these pleas, Hercules throws him onto the throne and exacts revenge by fatally stabbing him with his own dagger. With this act, Hercules finally avenges his family and seeks closure. However, Hercules is suddenly ensnared by a whip around his neck wielded by Hercules' general, who prepares to kill him. Unexpectedly, the storyteller ambushes him from behind, fatally stabbing him. Hercules reunites with him and the party, who have successfully rescued Rhesus. Hercules and his army halt their departure from the palace, holding the boy hostage. Hercules threatens to execute the kid unless Hercules surrenders. At that moment, Autolycus returns and intervenes, resulting in the soldier holding the boy hostage being fatally struck by a thrown knife. The kid rushes to his mother's side. With Hercules' army charging, Hercules resorts to using his immense strength to topple a colossal statue of Hera. The shattered pieces crush numerous soldiers, including Hercules, plunging him into the abyss. With Hercules dead, the soldiers, acknowledging Hercules as their king, kneeled and chanted his name, embracing him as their new leader. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.